Alright, here we are. We got another guitar project. This is my friend's bass. The neck is done. It's finished on it. The truss rod cannot be tightened anymore because when you do try to tighten it, the I don't know if you can see that, but this fillet in the back there is actually popped out. So effectively there's nothing to hold back that truss rod to allow it to do its job to take the bend out of that neck. Now, found a replacement neck. The price was right. It was a good solid construction, but it did not have the same number of frets on it. If I line those two up like that, you can see that this one here, it's got an additional fret added to it. And if I look at the side profile, it's got that overhang coming out of it, whereas this doesn't have any. Now, the problem with that is that if you look at the back of the end of the heel, and if I were to take that guitar, this bass neck, and just put it into the back where it is right now, it is not going to line up according to the scale correctly. And let me show you what I mean by that. Just give me a second. I'm going to set this up and I'll start filming again. So as you can see, the frets all line up scale wise, and that's good. We want that. In fact, if you look at the nut, where the nut sits in, it's basically at the same point, the 0 point, for that scale to work. Now, here's the dilemma. If I put this neck, the bottom neck, in as is, it's going to offset the scale length just ever so slightly, that it's going to cause me, or force me, or obligate me rather, to move these tumblers towards the front a little bit. And if you look at that end over there, they're pretty well almost maxed out to as far as you want them to go with the neck that they had. And adding another I'd say ½ inch of stock to that would probably offset that bridge, and unfortunately I would have to move that, and I don't really feel like moving that because then the pickups would be in the wrong position too. So what we're going to do, solution is simple as this. We're going to cut off this portion of the neck, and we're going to take this shape, line it up at this fret, and basically everything south of that is coming off. So I'll set up a gabarit, a little template to get this marked up, and yeah, let's cut this thing up. So just took a piece of cardboard here, and with a straight edge side, I laid that down over top of the fingerboard and held it snug right to the edge of that fret. And from the bottom, take a pencil, wherever you have that has a sharp point on it, a fine point, and trace out that edge. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut this out. We're going to use this piece between my finger and my thumb, line that up over here, and we'll know exactly what's going to be removed from this neck. Once that's gone, we'll pop that in the pocket, and it's going to be a perfect fit. The scale will be great. We got a logo to put on it. He wants me to put his band's logo. It's a simple little fun artsy job, so we'll do that too. But first, let's cut this thing down to size. Yeah. Alright, so from this to this, marked out with a pencil. Now what we're going to do is we're going to we'll remove this fret, and then I'll take that downstairs and I'll start that off on the bandsaw and finish that off with the belt sander. Yeah, it's going to be a perfect fit. So let's get that fret out of there. There we go. You got the end up. Once you get the end up, you just have to walk it the rest of the way. Just a gentle creeping motion towards the These aren't the best file or the best tools for this, but they'll do the job. There we go. There we go. Well, that fret's removed. As you can see, we don't have too much breakage in the wood. It's not going to be where I'm going to be sanding that off, so let's take this downstairs and get this cleaned off and cut up. So now we'll go on over to the belt sander there and clear up that edge. What we're going to do now is take a file and draw it from the edge of the neck down towards the heel, like this, just to take off that little bit of a sharpness there. I've started this one there, this file here, and it's very, very simple to do. Just line that up on the edge, just gently rock that forward, just to take off the sharpness. There you go. Rinse and repeat, and then we'll be done. This part of it anyway. It's going to need a good cleanup. There's some tape that was on the side of this thing from the guy who picked it up. He had it packed in some plastic. Well, that's about the shape we had. We'll have to round over this edge too, because it's a little bit sharper, and if you can see there's like a little bit of an angle. So we'll add that back too by hand, and I'll do the by hand and do some fine sanding after, and put some finish on it. We're good to go. We'll go install this thing. And there you go. Finished product. So now we're at the next stage. We're going to put some finish on this. But in order to put some finish on it, we're not going to do this it's not going to be very complicated. What we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of paint thinner and a paper towel. You could use a lint-free cloth as well. That would be great. I'm just going to take this off camera for a second. Little splash of paint thinner on this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this polyurethane. Now, polyurethane is probably the finish that's on this neck. It's one of the most common finishes that you can get for musical instruments and neck finishes right now. We're going to take this, we're going to spray some on the cloth, not too much, and then we're just going to hand rub onto the back of onto the tail end of that neck. It's going to be like a violin finish what we're going to do. I'll shake this up off the camera. There you go. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a distinct, yeah, you can see it. That's a little bit of orange yellow, and that's going to be our finish. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use that part. We're just going to gently rub the wood like this. You don't want to put a heavy coat right now. Just a gentle little finish. You see it's all even. Start again. That's a little edge. Went over the top. It's good. What this is going to do, it's going to seal that end. And that is going to prevent humidity from opening up the neck, the pores in the end of the neck. Now this is going to get sticky, so you can wipe all the excess off right now with a rag like that. So basically, if you look at the color from here to here, you can see the difference with the finish on it versus what it was like before. That's actually a UV burn in the old finish. So what we'll do now is we'll set that aside, tail end off the table here so it doesn't have any chance to stick. And that's it, folks. Discard this, put this away, and come back to this in a few minutes. We'll do this about 2 or 3 times. I'd say about another hour. I'll let it go about an hour. And then after that, I'll let it sit an hour, and I'll do it a 3rd time. And after that, we should be ready to go. Oh, one last thing. I said I was going to put my friend's logo on it, so there you go. I'll do that in a different video, show you how I did it, but that's burned with laser. And he wanted like, it's actually a stamp feel, so I actually put that image into my laser cutter there and did a custom graphic on his neck. So anyway, put this aside, let that dry, hit that back jack. So there's the finished product. Got some finish on that. I put 3 coats, and you'll know it's done. Like this is a satin finish. So try to see that there. If you can see a little bit of the glare of the light, not the glare but the shine, the reflection back of the light, you know that you've got finish on there. 3 coats. It's end grain. It did seal up pretty good. I took the liberty of again, this video is just about modifying the neck, so I just took the liberty of putting the hardware back on. I'm going to put the nut on, and it is a showtime. It's time to marry Mappa with the Papa. So, yeah. Set up the camera. Let's get this done. So what we're going to do now, we're going to clean off all the dust. That's first. Then we're going to take the 2 strings, outside strings, and we're going to put them on the neck, on the keys. We're going to use them to hold this neck snug into the socket, into the pocket, so that we can align it left to right, and we'll know exactly where we're going to have to drill our holes now. So yeah, let's do that. At least it's not like the small E string on a guitar. These things are pretty big. Oh yeah. 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 Oh. That one. And take this in the file here. Alright. Okie dokie, Smokey, there we go. So, those are the two I want to have out. Got them around the post there. And these are going to work as my guides. So I know exactly how to put that in. Okay, so we got some tension on the two sides. I'm going to go put the nut in now. Could have put that in first actually, but don't matter. It's still floating. Like that. When was that ever? Strings are awfully close together. That's pretty well perfectly centered. I mean, as far as where the alignment goes, maybe I can toss it off just a tad bit that side, but alright, so what we'll do now is we'll put a clamp in the back here, hold this together, and we'll get jiggy on putting some holes in that. Let's go. Okay, so we got a drill bit now that is the proper size for this screw. What we're going to do is we're going to set this up in the drill, but we're going to lock it down so that when I go to screw this thing or drill it, I will not drill past the depth of the screw. Yeah, and that looks really good right there. So lock that down. All right, now took a good look at the neck, the way it lines up. It's actually quite straight. I'm not going to have to put a clamp on it. I don't have to fight with it at all. One thing that's very important is that you want to make sure that the screws you're going to use fit good into the screw driver. On the the screwdriver fits good into the screws, and they should have a good fit with no slippage, because you want to make sure that when you're going to put a fresh hole in there, it's going to require a little bit of torquing, and you don't want that thing to move. So that being said, without further ado, we got our neck on. It's not bolted on, just on. It's loose and floating. Got the two strings that I can use as a guide, and I see that by this position that I'm holding it in with tension on this side here, holding it up against the wall of the guitar, the bass, that I have the best contact. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drill this first hole here first, blind, and then we're going to put the plate on it, and we're going to finish up the other holes. You gotta be careful here because you do have tension on the strings, and it wants to pull that neck forward ever so slightly. We'll put up a plate, we'll put our thumb back in place, and we're going to get that first screw inside right now. Now when you bring that in, you do not want to tighten it all the way. You want to make it snug though, because you don't want it to move the neck. You want to put it just tight enough that the plate should just be able to move the plate ever so slightly. And don't do that too much. Don't scratch it left and right, because you do risk scratching up the finish. But now the neck is secure. That's the most important thing. And I can see, based on the alignment of the neck into the pocket, that looks like that's is going to be where that's going to be. So we're going to finish up these other holes now, and I'll do the outside one. Or no, you know what? I'll do the bottom pocket here, and that'll hold that basin. You don't have to go right up to the chrome. You don't want to scratch the plate with that guitar, with your drill. Yeah, that's a tight fit right there, I tell you what. And again, bring it in just to the plate. Those two other holes should just line up right where the holes are. You don't want that plate to be sliding to the left or to the right. We'll go put those other holes in there now. Some people would prefer to mark the holes out first and then do it on the drill press. Make sure the holes are perfectly straight. Whatever works for you, that's fine. Fundamentally speaking, what's important is that you have a very, very strong connection. That they're well connected and the screws aren't binding against the plate or the body. They should just go straight, fall right into their slots like that. Make sure you don't slip, that would suck. Bam! It's done, dog. It's another bass neck. There. So now it lines up very, very nice. You can still see that those two strings are very good. They didn't move. The neck did not budge in the pocket from where I wanted it to be. So, woohoo! Got ourselves some success. Now you're going to bring them in, but you don't want to bring it in. You want to bring it in so it's tight. Go a little bit, just a little bit more than when it makes contact and it's tight, just to say that it's snug. But you don't want to put it in hard enough that this plate is going to be forced into the wood and cause it to damage the finish. This one here is ash body, so it's very, very hard. It's not like alder body, so the wood is a little bit more resistant. But there you go, folks. Ta-da! So what we'll do now, so I'll finish stringing that up. We'll set the intonation on it because we do have to adjust the heights here. It's a new neck. The scale, most importantly, is the same. So the bridge should not have to move this way in any way, shape, or form, back and forth. It should, maybe the saddles individually will come. We'll adjust them one at a time and then do the intonation, and then we'll do the final adjustment of the pickup. Let's get back to this when it's all strung up and ready to go. There you go. We're all done. So it's been intonated. It's been cleaned up. She looks fantastic. The neck is super straight. It's got great action on it. I don't know if you can see that there. Holy moly, Tolly! Well, it looks really, really good. Works good. That's a solid neck. Actually, the neck looks and feels probably, I'd say, a little bit better, a little bit heavier stock than the last one. And still got the skunk stripe in the back. They didn't refine the head as much as they did in the original Fender. This line looks pretty straight coming out. That should be more rounded over there. And that line too, they could have followed that edge up a little bit higher and put some edge on this too. But anyhow, in a nutshell, that's she's done. So I'm gonna give my buddy a call and let him know that his baby has been restored to full playability again. Oh boy! Yep, rock and roll. It's Friday. It's a jam night tonight anyway, so. Maybe totally be able to do some jamming too. Don't know. Anyhow, if you like what you saw, folks, don't forget to follow me, subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos. I got another 2 guitar videos that I've actually done, and I just haven't put them in a video form yet. One of them actually caused me to invent something, and I can't share that right now because I'm actually built the prototype, and I'm going to go see a patent lawyer about getting a copy patented, and hopefully maybe go to production or something. There you go. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. Come back. We'll see you real soon. Ciao, guys.